Hey everybody, welcome here. This is my very first knitting podcast, so I'm really excited to share with you guys what I've been working on. I have all these new knitting projects I've been doing and patterns I've downloaded and yarn I've bought. I just want to talk to somebody about it. So I thought I would film a knitting podcast since I love listening to them so much on YouTube. So what I'm wearing is one of my finished objects. It is cropped a bit from the pattern. Ashley Lillis Open Trails pullover. It calls for the Lion brand Respun. I think it is the recycled polyester Lion brand. And I really try to avoid polyester just because I hate how it feels. So I used 2 of 1's Hue and Me in the color Desert. It did adjust my gauge a bit, so I had to add 4 stitches to meet gauge, so I had to do some math and adjust the pattern to accommodate that. But overall, I am really happy with how it turned out. I'm still getting used to wearing it. I've never worn a pullover before, so yeah, I like it. It is also a free pattern, and she's got a entire YouTube video tutorial on her channel as well. I will link that below. So that's what I'm wearing, but it's also a finished object this week. And my only other finished object is this little beanie. Working on some Christmas knits, trying to not completely leave it to the last minute and stress about it. My decreases on this are definitely not perfect. You can see they're a little bit crooked. This is the first time in a very long time that I have done 1x1 rib decreases. And I didn't really follow a pattern, and I probably should have, but it's still adorable. It's for my, gosh, how old is she now? 7-month-old niece. So I don't think she's gonna mind a few crooked leanings, but I'm really quite happy with that. I used 100% merino wool. It's a K&C brand that you can just get at Joann Fabrics, or probably any craft supply store there, but it's 100% merino superwash, which I thought would be good for a child's hat. I did notice that this yarn, the ply was very unwindy, which I hear that that's a fairly common thing with big box store superwash yarns. So I was kind of expecting that, but it's gloriously soft, lots of squish, and I am overall really happy with how it turned out and excited to gift it. And next, what I have, this is the one that I'm most excited about. I cast this on my one and only little vacation this year. My mother and I went to the beach for 2 nights after Labor Day. So it was just wonderful to get to go to knit on the beach and just dip my toes in the sand in the ocean before winter. So I cast this on specifically to work on in the car, and it is the Petite Knit Monday sweater. You can see I have the body done. It's got a awesome double fold collar. It's got German short rows in the back, so the back collar is raised over the front. So it's got these awesome raglan increases. The pattern called for make one left and make one right, but I found that I was getting a lot of holes along the increase line doing that. And this was my first time doing the make one left and right in a raglan increase with the German short rows, where you're going both sides and working front and back of the work. So I just probably wasn't understanding it properly, and again, knitting in the car, I didn't want to be looking up a bunch of YouTube tutorials and making myself car sick. So I ripped it back to the collar and started again and just did the knit 2 together on either side of the raglan stitch marker. And I am so happy with how it turned out. I have made a lot of really good progress on the left sleeve, but a few more decreases left to do there, and then we'll go into the ribbed cuff. I did do a Italian bind off on the hem, so I had my first time doing that as well. It still looks a little bit choppy, so I'm really hoping that that blocks out well, because I got cast on fever for a Monday sweater, and I used what I had on hand, which was Lion Brand Fisherman's Wool, which is 100% wool worsted weight from Lion Brand. Again, you can just get it at Joann's or you can order it online. And it's definitely a rustic yarn, but it's nice and squishy and it doesn't bother me. I will definitely be willing to wear this next to skin, and it doesn't bother me. It's a little rustic, but it's not that scratchy, and I really think that in blocking it's going to soften up a lot as well. Next, I have one I have not actually cast on yet, but I want to talk about it next because I'm talking about that one. I did do a gauge swatch and met gauge with the prescribed needles, and this is also Lion Brand Fisherman's Wool, but I caked up a more portable size of it. So this is the color Brown Heather in Fisherman's Wool. So Lion Brand Fisherman's Wool Brown Heather, held double with drops alpaca silk. So holding these two together gave me this glorious little swatch, and it is just so like velvety soft. I love it. I will have absolutely no issues wearing this next to skin. So I have not cast on for this yet, but I've got it in my little project bag. Got my gauge swatch done, got my needles in here, got my pattern bought. So it is considered a work in progress to me. And this is going to become a Lakes pullover by Ozetta. And I am so excited to work with the saddle construction and see that come to life in this really awesome and affordable yarns. So that's that one. Next, I am working on an Oslo hat, also by Petite Knit. I love Petite Knit. Her patterns and her style just oftentimes mesh so well with mine. So this is knit in stockinette. So at the phase I am at, it's just curling like crazy. With this pattern, you're meant to knit almost 8 inches, I believe, and then I believe you pick up the cast on edge and do like a fold over, but I haven't actually read that far ahead in the pattern, so don't quote me on that. But you knit for quite a while, and this is a triple fold beanie, so I think that's what happens, but I don't know for sure. I am just kind of testing out the pattern to see how it goes and how much yardage I actually wind up needing for the sizes I want to make for some gifts. This one will be for me if it works out, and because I'm knitting it magic loop, I was actually able to try it on. I suppose I'll show you, even though it looks so goofy and it's gonna mess up my hair, but it looks like the size is going to be perfect for me, and I just love this color. That is one good thing about magic loop, is you can really easily try things on. And I'm knitting these on my size 4, US 4, which is 3.5 millimeters Knit Picks interchangeable needles. I'm really happy with them so far. And that is being knit out of I believe it's a DK weight. Yeah, it's a DK weight. The pattern calls for 2 strands of fingering weight yarn to be held double, and I just didn't have that on hand. Well, I didn't have fingering weight yarn on hand that I wanted to dedicate to this hat. So at Joann, when I went last week, I got Lucky Brand Cotton Wool Solid. It's 50% cotton and 50% superwash merino wool, and it's a DK, so I'm able to use it fairly comparably in place of 2 fingering weight strands. It's still a little bit lighter than what 2 fingering weights would be, but this is the label. So this is that Lucky Brand yarn that I am working up my Oslo hat in. I'm very happy with that so far. All right, my last work in progress is in this cute little bag. Wingspan matters. If you know, you know. I am using Patton's Croy sock yarn. I believe this is the mid-century color. I found this on Amazon. I didn't see it in stock in any of the stores I go to that carry the Patton's Croy, but I found it on Amazon, so I can drop a link in the description for you if you're looking for it. It is really great. I'm using the Summer Lee I'm So Basic sock pattern with just a few modifications. I believe I shortened the cuff a bit from hers, and I'm also going to be shortening the leg as I want them to hit, you know, maybe about 2 inches past my ankle bone and not go any crazy high. And I am knitting them 2 at a time, but on 9-inch circulars. So do a little bit on this one, do a little bit on this one, and it helps make things feel like they're going quicker and you're not getting stuck on that second sock syndrome, which I think is great. I do have to get, this one is being knit on bamboo needles, and I want to switch it over to my new Chiagu sock needle, which is 2.25 millimeter, a US size 1, which is what I am knitting this one on. And I think a lot of people have mentioned that they get different gauges on bamboo versus metal needles, and I have not noticed that in these socks yet, but since I have matching needles, I want to use matching needles and avoid any potential issues. I mean, how cute are they? And I do have a fair few acquisitions. I have got 4 balls of the Kobu Lion Brand Kobu in the color taupe. This is, it's a light, it's a size 3. So would that be a light DK or a heavy fingering? I think this would still be considered a fingering, but more of a heavier gauge. And this I am going to knit the My Favorite Things knitwear camisole number 5 out of. I picked this up to trial the pattern before I use what I bought specifically for that. I got 2 hanks of Bigfoot Yarn Co., which is an indie dyer that I really am glad to be able to try. This is her colorway Lenore in Wendigo sock, which is 75/25 superwash merino and nylon, 463 yards and 100 grams. So I got 2 hanks of those. That is what I really want to make a My Favorite Things knitwear camisole number 5 out of. Also very excited about this one. Also from Bigfoot Yarn Co. in her colorway Heathen. The same sock yarn, the Wendigo sock, 75/25 merino superwash, and nylon. I am trying to decide if these are the same lot. I don't think it says the dye lot on them. And they are small batch dyed, so I might have to alternate skeins, unfortunately. But how great is this color? Hopefully it's gonna look okay on me. I'm not normally much of a red person, but I think it'll work. Then I have more skeins of Patton's Croy stock yarn for some more Christmas knits. This one is adorable. It is the Midnight Orchid colorway, and I am so excited. These stripe stock yarns from Patton's Croy seem to be self-striping. So that's what I'm using right now, and they seem to be very self-striping in my socks, and I am loving it. And this is more Patton's Croy for one of my friends for a set of socks for Christmas in the colorway Celestial Colors. And she is the biggest fan of purple and night skies and all of that. So I think it's going to be perfect for her. And this one is for one of my sisters' set of socks for Christmas as well. This is the colorway Cascade Colors. Yeah, I guess it's just called Cascade Colors. I just love the blue and the gray. I'm marling, and I'm really excited to get this knit up and see what it looks like. Also, for acquisitions, we have, sweaters quantities of the yarn and alpaca silk that I'm going to be using for the lake sweater. But we already talked about those. Then I also have a sweaters quantity of Knitting for Olive's Heavy Merino, which is in the color Camel, and just one of my absolute favorite shades of brown. I got the corresponding mohair, also from Knitting for Olive, but I swatched with this, so it is missing its label already. But that is hopefully going to be, I can't decide, either another Monday sweater or something new, because I really kind of got these intending them to be a Monday sweater, but shipping took a while and I could not wait. So I cast on with the Lion Brand Fisherman's Wool, which is going to be not as gloriously soft as this combination will be. So I might just need 2 Monday sweaters. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Lastly, I got from Knit Picks a set of interchangeable needles, and this is one of their ones that was on sale on their website for a lot cheaper than the full price ones. And you've got sizes US 4 to US 11, so US 4 to 11, and then they give you multiple different length cords that you just change out with the needles. My US 4s and my US 7s are in use right now, and I really enjoy working with them. They are wooden needles, but I believe that they also have metal options. I just find them really high quality and a really good entry-level price. So very happy with them. I need to place another order from Knitting for Olive for some more hat quantities of yarn to finish up some gift knits, but I need to finish my Oslo hat test knit first to make sure that I understand how the pattern works and how much yarn I'm going to need, and then I will go ahead and place that order and wait for it. I love Knitting for Olive, but the wait hurts. But that is all for me for today, and if you watched all the way through, if you liked what you saw, if you're excited to see more knitting work from me and want to hang around, I would really appreciate if you would like this video and subscribe, because it really does help my channel grow, and I'm really trying to do that. So I really appreciate you being here. Thank you.